We would like to thank our amazing sponsor, TouringPlans Travel. Their destination specialists are experts in smart travel and are there to help you plan an amazing Disney vacation. Whether you are looking at Disney World, a Disney cruise, or anywhere in the world, they will book you an amazing vacation and it costs you nothing. Their services are completely free, so head over to touringplans.com/travel and tell them Rope Drop Radio sent you. Now, on to the show.
Helping you navigate the Disney parks.
With the hope that it will be a source of joy and inspiration to all the world.
You're listening to Rope Drop Radio.
Welcome to another Rope Drop Radio. Derek and Doug talking all things Europe and Disney Cruise Line. Doug, welcome back. Wow,
Yes,
you picked up some new language.
Yes,
9 days, Doug. Is this your longest cruise you've ever taken?
Yes, by far. 7 was previous long. This was the new long, 9 days. So I can't wait to talk about it, share all about it. Trip to Europe, always great. Lots of memories.
That is what we are talking about on this week's episode. So we have a lot to discuss. But first, we need to give a shout out to some new Patreons. Thank you, Kristen Berman, Derek Huff, and Jocelyn for joining the Rope Drop Radio community. Doug, you posted a bunch of stuff while you were out there in Europe and all sorts of
three
great
little
things.
mini audio updates as well. One is not mini. One was a 20-minute doozy that
I have not listened to yet. So yeah, I know I need to catch up.
Yeah, you needed to listen to that.
I was on a different boat, by the way, a much smaller family lake boat that is not as much fun as the Disney Cruise Line.
So Apple Podcast reviews. Before we do that, a reminder, if you're at Disney World, you can come meet up with us between September 11th and the 14th. We'll be doing a Galactic Hero Challenge. We'll meet up at La Cava and then sip and snack around the World Showcase. We'll have a trumpet squid sighting. And then, of course, we'll try to get a guest on Cinnamon Roll with extra.
We will get a guest on Cinnamon. No, it's going to happen.
We'll try. But that's the 11th through the 14th. If you book with TouringPlans Travel, you get a little special extra something gift-wise and a $25 gift card. That's definitely worth giving them a ring and letting them know you're coming from Rope Drop and going with Rope Drop or whatever, rope dropping with Rope Drop. Rope dropping with Rope Drop?
Great job, yes.
Yeah, all the rope drops. So there you go. Go check out TouringPlans Travel. We have an events page on our website, www.ropedroppers.com. So, Apple Podcast review time.
Yeah, I missed it last week because you weren't here.
Yeah. I just thought
I don't know where you left off. Yeah.
All right. Rope Drop Review, 5 stars by Landon123. Hey guys, love the podcast. I listen every car ride home from college. Growing up as a Disney kid, it's fun to flash back and listen to this great podcast. Keep up the good work.
I like it.
College kid already flashing back.
There you go.
I like to just flash back to college.
Yeah, me as well. It has been a moment now that I'm pushing my 20-year high school reunions upon me, Doug. So
yeah. I would take that. But
there you go. So yes, keep leaving reviews. We are almost at the 400. Of course, we're going to do something fun when we hit that magical number. And today we are talking all things Disney Cruise Line. But Doug, he did not go by himself. He went with his better half. The Rope Drop Queen herself is joining us today. Welcome back, Michelle McKnight.
Thanks. Yeah, it's nice to be here with Doug again forever.
Forever.
It was a really long cruise, really long trip.
A lot of time with
each other. There you go.
We survived.
I like it. I've spent a few days with Doug, but never 9 nights on a ship. I wonder if I would survive.
Not many.
Probably not.
Nope. Okay.
Probably not.
There you go. Good to know.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't your first guy's trip to Europe. If you want to hear all about Disneyland Paris and sailing out to Barcelona, check out episodes 166 and 167. So, yeah, this is your second trip out there. Did you feel more prepared, Doug, round 2?
Yeah. This was more cruise. The previous trip was more land-based in Disneyland Paris, where a cruise is a lot easier to plan for Europe. So we'll get into that more, though, as we go.
Well, I guess the big question I have and everyone else, why did you choose a 9-night Disney Magic cruise?
So why did we choose Disney?
Why this itinerary?
Why this itinerary? A couple reasons. So we did look at other cruise lines. Michelle, hold
on. There's other cruise lines besides Disney Cruise Line?
There are quite a few out
Good
there.
to know. I'm going to make
quite a few.
notes. Michelle books them too. I know that.
Yes. So we had a lot of credit with Disney Cruise Line. That was one reason. So what ship did we look at? We actually saw it on our cruise.
We looked at Odyssey of the Sea.
Brand new,
Royal Caribbean.
sparkly, very pretty. It's huge, very
we
nice.
came really close to pulling the trigger.
So close. So I mean, we even got to where we were asking the kids which itinerary we want to do because there was a couple little differences. So the reason we went with the Disney Magic, which is a small old ship, over the very brand new, fresh carpet smelling,
Large,
big mega ship. One, the kids had the familiarity. We could let them roam free. They knew where everything was. Like, they knew where the chicken strips were before we got on board. That's a key. The other thing is the Odyssey went to Turkey, which we really wanted to do, but the Disney Magic went to the ancient Olympic site, which we really wanted to do. And I think the Olympics won out. So there you go. That's why
The Olympics won.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go. And why did we end up in Greece? This started as a 7-night Eastern Caribbean cruise in 2020. That got canceled. We bumped it to the summer of 2021. Eastern Caribbean cruise again. That got canceled. Credits was amassing. And then when the summer of 2022 opened, I went to work. I came home at noon, and Michelle's like, I booked Greece. I've never thought I'd go to Greece, but I did. It's fantastic. I'm glad we did. It wasn't on my list, really. Was it on yours?
Nope.
But it fit our kids' school schedule.
I think that's a big one. Yeah.
Activities.
Yeah, I really wanted to do Northern Europe, but it's not going to fit with kids.
And to be honest, one of the big draws of Northern Europe is going to St. Peter's? No. Russia. My gosh, I can't even remember the town in Russia because Russia's been erased from my brain.
St. Petersburg?
Yeah. And so that's all been canceled. So I'm kind of glad we didn't have Northern Europe.
Yeah.
Because we looked at Norwegian Cruise Line and Royal to do Northern Europe as well in the same window. And we still chose to go with Disney. It fit the kids' schedule. Something we never did. We love old, dirty stuff, we've decided. Ancient things, right?
Yeah, to kind of.
We like history to a point. So that's why this ship, this itinerary.
Well, and you talked about your kids, one, their summer, out of school, not into athletics at the moment, so it worked for their schedules. But was it good for them? What are their ages for the rope droppers who don't know? And let's talk about them for a little bit if they're a good age for this trip, because I don't want to take my 4-year-old to Europe by any means.
No, I would not recommend that.
Oh, good.
So our kids did miss some stuff to go. They missed some open field type stuff for soccer and things like that. So we have Samantha's 16, Alden's 14, junior, freshman going into those years, and then Claire, who will be a 7th grader, 12 this year. But also with us was my sister and her daughter, who is just about 9. Good ages. Our kids were great ages for it. Wouldn't hesitate. 12 and up, no problem. However, in 2019, Claire was 9. Alden would have been 11. And they did really well in 2019 doing Europe. And I think that was a lot of preparation work and just knowing what we were going to do and preparing them for it. What do you think about that, Michelle?
Yeah, I think anywhere around 10, 9, sometimes 8 is okay. It's kind of what you prepare them to do, what they're interested in, how you can get them interested in it, maybe you can bribe them for later. I don't know. You only have so many years with your kids, so if you put it all off until 16 or so, you're not going to be able to get it all in.
And by the time they're 16, they may not want to be with you anyway. Like, Alden disappeared every single night. We didn't really see him after dinner, right? So
because he was running, because he does cross country.
Well, that was earlier in the day. Okay. He was running, and then later it was at Vibe. So
running at Vibe, got it.
Yeah, I would say whatever age they are, it's good to go. Now, if your kid's just gonna want to swim and whine and throw a fit when they're not going to a beach, this still could be the trip for you. It was beach after beach if you wanted to be
more beaches.
But if that's not what you want to do, if you want to go look at ancient sites in Greece, make sure you're wanting to do the same thing your kids want to do, or maybe alternate every other day type of thing. But yeah, you can get younger kids. There was plenty of younger American kids on the cruise ship. It just depends on your child.
Okay, not taking my 4-year-old. Got it. Let's talk about the
way. I wanted.
Some 4-year-olds can go.
Yeah,
Derek knows.
Derek's 4-year-old's not going to make it.
His won't.
You know, Olivia might have been.
Oh, Olivia would be phenomenal. Oh, yeah, she would have been, but not my Callie. No.
It depends on how well traveled they are. Like, have they gone on a really long flight before? Because for a 4-year-old, that would be a little bit hard. But
it's hard for Michelle. So.
Yeah, we can get there.
Well, speaking of flights, let's just dive right in. How was getting from America to Europe?
Uneventful.
Oh, that's good. But McKnight, uneventful, traveling to Europe?
I think we hoped for the worst, or we thought we were going to
plan for the worst.
Well, the McKnight curse
ready to
of travel.
Spend 3 nights in Chicago.
Yeah.
You know,
you did not text me all the time. I thought maybe you were dead. So yay, you're good.
Well, the Wi-Fi didn't work.
Wi-Fi didn't work on the plane.
Oh, well, never mind. Because it can't all be
10
perfect.
Hours of...
We had lots of parents wondering where we were.
Yeah,
as well.
like you said, you'd message from the plane. Well, sorry.
No. It was uneventful. Flights ran on time.
Customs was boring. Got our stuff.
Chicago was easier than it should have been.
We literally.
Oh yeah, that was the last time we texted, Doug. You were like, "I'm in Chicago," and I shared you my Chicago stories, and then I didn't hear from you again.
Yep. Then I was in Rome.
Yep.
And our driver was waiting for us when we came out of Rome. I mean, walked to the van. Everything fit in the van. Drove us to the hotel. Things happened. Just like we went and looked at a church, came back, checked in, got our rooms. It was good.
And being an American in Rome, how did you feel navigating and getting around?
I mean, we did it mostly by foot. We did take the metro. One time we walked quite a bit. The other 6 people in the party were looking at me at times wondering why I'm making them run through Rome in 100-degree heat. Would you say that's a fair assessment of?
Sure.
We walked a lot.
Yeah, I mean, well, we don't have a car, so It is what it is.
You know what? Just using Apple Maps, it got us everywhere.
But we stayed in a place because you had set it up. We stayed in a place.
I worked hard at the prep work, yeah.
But it was like 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, 30 minutes there. We didn't need a car.
We were near the
Which
train
turned out
station.
to be very good.
Oh, there's no way you're driving around.
No, and Uber is
uber
reliable.
Expensive. And
Doug driving is uber dangerous, especially in a foreign country. Yeah.
The Roman Forum area, we're down by the Colosseum, back up to near the main train station. What was it? 80 euros, which is basically $80 right now for 4 people. And we had 7. So we could have dropped $160 on 2 Uber rides. And then to get the Uber to actually show up and pick you up is a whole nother thing. So we took the metro for, $1.50. No big deal. The metro was pretty easy. It was a Sunday.
Is there a language barrier? Did you feel like people spoke enough English that you could communicate?
Only one time on the whole trip did I feel like there was a language barrier. The whole trip.
And that was in the
very last thing.
That was in the Rome airport.
Rome airport.
In the United States flights area.
Big sign.
That's hilarious.
Flights to U.S. only. So our own security area. Flights to U.S. 0 English. Just a lot of yelling in Italian at children.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is not good. They understood you.
But yeah, no, in Rome.
No language barrier at all.
No. And in Greece too, really.
Yeah, only time there was a language barrier was one really old lady. We'll get to the story, though. We'll get there. There. All right.
Okay. Well, let's jump on the cruise. That's what we're talking about right now. So a little bit different than Port Canaveral, I'm sure. Talk about getting on the ship in a foreign country.
So Rome is not by the sea. I don't know how good everybody is at geography, but it is a bit. And you're actually using the port of Civitavecchia.
I didn't know. Okay.
Yeah, Civitavecchia. We're not going to make Derek pronounce that one. We got some others for Derek to say coming up.
Yep.
Though. We've been there before. We stopped in 2019 in Rome on the cruise. Did a private tour. We did a private tour of the Colosseum on our day in Rome, by the way, with Miles and Miles. Just throw that out there. It was great. Anyway, so it's like an hour 15, roughly, private transfer from our hotel that was near Termini Station in the city center all the way out to the cruise port. And we didn't have any traffic issues, just to be clear. Like, that was on nice, smooth, no weird traffic. Yeah. Some people take the train. I think that's a huge headache with your luggage, because when you get there, then you got to get on a bus for like a mile, and then you got to get on another bus from the outside of the port to the inside of the port. And we did see one family walking to the ship in the port. They'll say on the Facebook groups, you can walk to the ship, but no, don't do that. Don't be that guy. Don't. So our private transfer takes you right up to the ship. We hop off, we stand in stupid lines because it's Italy running embarkation. And that's where the Patreon show comes in, because you have to test, and then you have Italian efficiency organizing the test. So you get into the terminal, and then, Michelle, how would you describe the cell phone service?
Non-existent.
Non-existent.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And we're supposed to be checking for an email or logging into this website to find our results.
Which is similar to what Port Canaveral's done for the last year, right?
Except
We've done it.
Every time, Michelle, we try to log in, it says, your password's not working.
So here, reset it.
Sorry, you can't reset it. Call us.
Yeah.
And they're standing around.
And how are you guys doing during all this? How much stress is building?
1,000%.
Okay.
Also, the Wi-Fi doesn't really work either. So eventually Michelle gets a guy to get her onto their Wi-Fi with a password.
And I remember the password, and I told the
started
whole
telling everybody.
Yeah, I was like,
the password.
Guys,
just so you know, the
internet
password
actually
at
works.
the port in Cetavecchia, which Disney isn't going to use again the rest of the year, was Disney 2022.
Oh.
Yeah, but they're already done, so it doesn't really matter.
They're not using it anymore. They're headed to Barcelona. So, and then like we've harassed them, and we finally get cleared for Claire and Alden because they had to test. And then my sister thought she saw something pop up on her screen, but it didn't, but it did, but it didn't. And then they wouldn't let her board. So then like they go over there, and Michelle's with my sister, and they lost her test. I don't even understand.
They wouldn't tell us what was wrong, and then I figured it out because they were like hush hush talking to behind the counters.
She knows Italian now.
They lost it, then they found it, but it hadn't been run yet, so then they had to test it.
Fun.
So they're like, it's going to be like 30 minutes. And we're like, oh.
Doug's already on the ship having a Mai Tai.
Could have been,
but no, something else prevented that. I didn't have a room.
But anyway, so Deborah got her message like 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
Dramatic, 30 minutes, but now it was just 5 minutes.
So then we board, but we don't. Because we had two inside staterooms, midship, great location on deck 2. We love that area. They moved Michelle to the 7th deck.
So now your 2 rooms are as far away as possible from each other.
Pretty much. So then they have to straighten that out. And, they are not accomplishing anything. So finally, you're just going to board and then go to guest services later.
So you're boarding without a room. Got it.
Yes. We boarded without a room. So much more,
Doug's ready to sleep on, wherever you need to go.
This is a couple weeks later after a really good cruise, much more mild than the Patreon show about this. So eventually we go up to Cabanas. I got a burger from Donald's because I was like, I need a hamburger. I've been in Europe for a couple days. And they go to Cabanas. We eat lunch. Then we go back to guest services. They offer us 2 rooms. And I'm like, that's above the theater and next to the kids club. No.
And they were inside staterooms.
And they were way forward, right? And we wanted to be midship because that's what we booked. We didn't ask to be moved. We weren't asking for upgrade. It turned out the one room had a maintenance issue. So that's why it was being moved. And so...
Well, good thing. I mean, it sounds like it wasn't sold out. So you're able to manage a little bit.
Yeah, but the room that's available is above the theater. So then they come back with 2 rooms on deck 7 with verandas. So big upgrade. We can't really say no to that. The reason the room's available, it's across the hall from the laundry.
Oh.
Which...
Which is good because you're in Europe for a while. You might need to do laundry, guys.
But so does everyone else on the ship.
Yeah.
There was some times where I reminded people that there's people across the hall. Let's keep it down. It got loud and rowdy in there a couple times.
I had never done laundry on a cruise ship, and I was totally planning on it this time. But it was so loud in there. I got taught by a couple, pros that had been doing laundry for several cruises.
Yeah.
But it's pretty simple, pretty easy to do, pretty straightforward. So everything you buy with your key card, you don't need any coins or anything. So don't pack any coins. You can buy the soap because it's exactly what you need, like per washer, per dryer.
Yeah,
so,
the powder Tide.
Yeah. So all of the Disney cruise ships have washer and dryer, even the Wish. So,
brand new. Big thing on the Wish, but they only have one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we got to hang out by the laundry. It was noisy. It made it easy to find the room. Also meant lots of people looked at our door.
Yeah.
So if you saw the Rope Drop Radio
And they're
logo
listening
on the door
right now.
while doing laundry, welcome. Glad you looked at the door. So that was embarking. We got on also because our rooms changed multiple times, right? Luggage.
Yeah, did it get there?
Adventure.
Hopefully?
No,
Eventually.
it never really got delivered.
Nope.
We got it off deck 2, a couple pieces, some other pieces off deck 2. Alden found
Sam.
them
It was Sam.
Sam found them. I thought
Yeah,
Alden did.
I don't think so.
I don't know.
All the
It was
way
just
across deck 7.
randomly on deck 7.
No, it wasn't random. That was
it
what
was
my
the
room
room
was
they
supposed to
put
be.
you in. Yeah. So I mean, we went and got them. We retrieved and found our own luggage because they kept telling us, "Hey, we'll bring it to you." And we're like,
And our host didn't know that, he was on break. So he didn't know that we were his people
He
until
thought,
he came off break.
I'm gonna have 2 empty rooms this cruise. Kick
Yeah.
back, take it easy. And then he got us. Yeah. So
But we made it, and it was good. The balconies were amazing. So
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
glad-
you got an
not
upgrade.
complaining.
You know what?
I
And you
don't,
got your
I don't
luggage
know that
back.
I can do 9 nights on an inside.
No,
I
that
don't
yeah,
know.
you got a veranda.
I was ready.
That's a win.
I was ready.
Yeah.
But I mean, we wanted to be midship. That was the thing. We booked midship. We needed to be midship. That's what we wanted. Anyway, there
All
you
right.
go.
Well, it started a cruise. That's when you have a sail wave party and anything exciting to start the special occasion.
The sail a wave party where Mickey waves.
Yep.
That's the party. They're doing the parties. Lots of character meets. Pretty typical. Other than you couldn't hug the characters.
Yeah, your
normal
pictures
cruise.
were great. We got a couple comments, and you had awkward distance.
You can hug them at the parks, but not on the cruise line. Now you can hug them. Like tomorrow?
No.
I thought the day was coming. There's a day. It's coming. I don't know.
Someday
Maybe,
you'll
but
hug the
They
characters.
didn't get to
on a
do it
cruise
on the
ship.
Wish inaugurals already so
No.
far.
So, yeah, it's coming on the cruise line, but good dinner that night. A different menu every night in the main dining rotations. And then our first day was a day at sea. The kids swam. Alden ran on first day.
What a
Same thing
weirdo.
happened second day. We did Palo brunch with my sister. It was good. While we were eating lunch, we went through a strait whose name I can't remember, but it's between the tip of Italy and Sicily. So that was really cool. Our server had all kinds of information about the strait and things like that, but it was a good brunch. We asked for sticky rolls the day before when we got on board. We went and met with the Palo person to see if we could add my sister to the reservation. They did that. And I said, hey, do you have sticky buns, sticky rolls? And they're like, no, but we might be able to make a request. So they made them for us. So if you want the infamous sticky buns, you got to go ask when you first get on the ship, and they might be able to do
And there
it.
was another couple that also got them.
Yes.
And so I don't know if it was a benefit of us or we benefited from them. One or the
Yeah,
other.
I don't know.
Somebody requested them.
Doug
I-
McKnight is getting
yeah.
on board. Get sticky buns ready
Yes,
and
get
Dole Whip.
them
Where you go
ready.
if you can.
Yeah. So Paula was great. That was probably the highlight. The sea day, it was pretty low key.
Yeah, I feel like it's a
relaxing.
good day to get prepped because you have 5 ports in a row after a sea day.
Yes. That's it was the calm before the storm.
Exactly.
And we were still jet lag out of our system. It was
This is a long
good time.
cruise. You got to get ready. So I actually admired the sea day before. I think that's a good call.
And on the sea day, we saw 2 volcanoes, so that was cool. We saw Mount Etna and Stromboli. So if you go to Via Napoli in Epcot, the 3 ovens are Vesuvius, Stromboli, and Etna. On this cruise, we saw all 3 of the volcanoes. Fun fact.
That is actually a really good bonus tip. I admire that one. That was good.
Thank you.
Good. I like Via Napoli. All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
First port, Derek.
Okay, you want me to pronounce this?
We want you to in Greece.
Katakolen.
That's pretty close.
We'll let it pass.
Yes.
Michelle's in charge of pronunciations.
It's pretty close.
It's pretty close. Anyway, that's a town of like 20 people. We don't know. It's the Olympics site. It's about a 30-minute ride out to Olympiad. We did a private tour for this one, a company recommended by Rick Steves. That's my go-to for Europe, olympictraveler.com. For this one, I was like ready to book one tour, and then they were like, hey, we're doing this just for the Disney magic. What do you think? And I said, you know what? That doesn't sound like something I would pick. Let's do it. So we went to the ancient Olympic site, but that was after we went to a marble sculpting workshop. That, I think, was the highlight for several people in our group.
Yeah, the whole cruise, and it was the very first thing we did.
Very first excursion we did, which set a high bar.
Yeah.
And it was awesome. It was just us and this guy. There's like 6 master sculptors in Greece. He helps restore the ancient sites. Like there was one column at the Temple of Zeus that he did the missing pieces for. So he showed us how he does the restoration, how he makes stuff out of clay first and then measurements and moves it onto the marble. Got to hammer and chisel marble. Alden did. Lila, my niece, who's like might be one of the smallest humans on earth, was with a hammer and chisel. It was awesome.
The guy's name was Alexander, and it was Simile Art Workshop.
Simile is the name of the tool used to make a smooth, flat surface.
There you go.
It's like the tool. And so he had a whole bunch of pieces that were really cool. And then he took us and we made something out of clay, because you make everything out of clay first. And so we had to recreate apples that he had on the table. And I just went to work. I didn't help my children or anything. They're old enough, right? And it was fun. And he had calipers and rulers. I mean, we were supposed to be recreating, so tried to make my apple the exact right size. I had the calipers out.
Yeah, and then he marveled over Doug's apple for drooled over it.
Blah, blah. He took a picture of my apple.
He did take a picture of his apple.
Wow.
Yeah.
Didn't take a picture of our apple.
Did not take a picture of anyone
There you
else's
go, Doug. You have a
apples.
calling. If you, dentist and podcasting fail, you're going to become a marble sculptor.
Yeah. I sculpt stuff every day, just out
teeth.
of a tooth.
Yeah.
So I
Right.
work with
you know what?
wax
I'm
and
hoping that you
composite.
never have to make an apple out of any of my teeth. I'm just saying.
Right.
That might ruin the show.
Yeah, it was fun. It was
Somehow we got them home.
we did get them
Without
home.
breaking.
Well, they were
did break?
they're like
Yeah.
almost 5 pounds a piece.
Yeah, I don't know how we had enough luggage weight.
The way we had enough room in our luggage is before we went over there, I told Michelle the weight limit on the bags was 40 pounds.
I didn't have time to look it up.
And she freaked out, right? And redistribute, took stuff out. You took some stuff out.
I took our
when
spray sunscreen out, which we
yeah,
needed.
which was a mistake. But I told her it was 40 pounds. It was 50. I
we
straight
got
up
to the
lied
Omaha
to her.
airport, and one of the bags were
42.
weighed at 42.
And
I was like, oh. And he's like, it's 50. You're good. And I was like, oh, what?
But we came back pretty close to 50.
There you go.
I was just thinking.
It's okay. When I came back from overseas, it was like 65, and I just paid the fee.
Sometimes
You have to
happens.
do it. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yep. So we made our apples. Then we got back on the little bus, and tour guide talking to us the whole time when we're on the bus, and she was with us the whole time at the art workshop. Then we went to the Olympic site, which is massive. It's the biggest ancient site well, no, Delos was huge, but it was very big, very shaded, lots of trees. That's the one time we'll say that on the rest of the trip.
And Alden ran a marathon while you waited. Got
He
it.
could have. So the highlight is definitely going into the stadium and running a stadium. A stadium is a length in the Greek language from one line to another. Actual original marble starting line is still there. So I ran a stadium and then coughed for about 20 minutes. My kids destroyed me.
That makes sense.
I did beat Lila, though.
Yeah.
Good.
You beat his niece. Yep.
Yeah, I beat my niece. That's my crowning.
all that
I didn't
matters.
run. I took the video.
She took the video. Somebody has
It
to.
was like 100 degrees.
It was
And I
pushing
knew
100
I
degrees.
still had another 3 to 4 hours. So
Yeah,
I
and we
was the
didn't know
smart
how.
one.
Like the thing about tours, private or through Disney, you never really know how long they're gonna last. There may be a time on the thing, but it's a mystery. It's always a mystery. So saw a Temple of Zeus, which was destroyed by earthquake. Lots of the stuff was destroyed by earthquakes. That's a common theme. Stupid earthquakes. Lots of great sights, lots of pictures.
Kind of
Learned
waiting
a ton.
for an earthquake to happen at the moment, but okay.
I think we're safe here.
Okay.
And then we hop back on our bus and we tootle back across town, actually back past the workshop to a farm. I told Michelle we were going to eat lunch at a farm, like a local lunch, right? Like
Claire and I both talked about this today. And we're pretty sure we thought we were going to go to like a goat farm.
Farm.
I don't
Like
know.
goat milk. I mean, that's huge in Greece, right? I told him the farm. Didn't tell him which kind, which I knew. It's a honeybee farm. They're afraid of bees. Did I potentially set up like the worst possible fail in the history of travel? Yeah. But how was the honeybee farm, Michelle?
It was fine.
How was your reaction when you heard honey farm?
I looked at Samantha, who's really afraid of insects, more so than me.
Yeah.
And we kind of panicked, but we survived. I don't even think we saw maybe one bee. Maybe.
Right. They didn't want bees
No.
around the guests. We could swat at them and kill them. That's the product.
They served us a traditional Greek lunch.
Yeah, this old lady made lunch.
I don't think you call a lady old.
Elderly, senior citizen.
Not editing this at all. There
Experienced.
you go.
She was
The owner.
It was fantastic. No, that was the daughter was the
Well,
owner.
She was the owner before.
The mother.
Yeah.
Yes. It was fantastic. I don't even know what all I ate, but we do know that there wasn't mangoes and pistachios and cashews. There was another group that met us there. Someone in that group had the same allergy. It was bizarre.
That's weird.
Yeah, so two different people freaking out about the same thing. But the lady that did the cooking, at one point she came out, she told us what it was, didn't understand a word of what she said. Did you?
No.
No, not a word. Until she said 5 stars on TripAdvisor.
Yeah.
That was the
Which we haven't done.
No, we
We
need
should
to
do.
do that. So just because she asked, I want to give her 6.
Yes.
But
We
was
ask
awesome.
for reviews all the time, Doug. You need to go in and do a
I know.
review
I
for
need to
her.
go give her review.
She may have reviewed this show. We might have to read it next week. You don't know.
Everything she told me in about the food in Greek, no idea. But then the English came out. So there's the one time where the language barrier.
And it was Cleo's Honey Farm.
Cleo's Honey Farm.
K-L-I-O.
K-I-L-O. Look it up. It's fantastic. Then they gave us a little lesson about honey and bees and like ancient beekeeping because you're looking at ancient stuff. And then after that, we got to have some honey with some little, not quite sopapillas, but very close, just not cinnamony, like some fried dough that you put it on. And that was good. And then we waddled back to the bus and drove back to the ship. And I will say, so the tour guide, you could tell they were excited to pick up people from the Disney Magic because I think it'd been since like 2014 or 2013 since Disney had been in this port. So, and we were the only stop this summer. So like Chamber of Commerce, everybody was excited. So that's kind of cool to see when you roll into a community and they're like happy to see you rather than like cruise passengers.
Not like Key West.
Not like Key West. Like you felt welcomed. One thing, this goes throughout all of Greece. Everybody we talked to that was a guide, you could tell they were passionate about their hometown, their heritage, and they wanted to share it. That was really cool because we've been on some other tours where they're like, when's this cruise ship leave? Okay, we'll get you back in time so you can get to the buffet, right? But this one was very cool. So there you go. That was
first.
Karakulon.
There you
Our
go.
first stop in Greece. Got back on the ship, did ship things, right? Dinner, shows.
That's what was nice, is that even if you didn't like the food, you knew.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You knew by dinner you were going to have food in your stomach that you understood.
I didn't know if my kids would touch anything or just move it around a plate.
They ate more than me.
They ate it, which was great. But if they didn't, guess what? Chicken strips were back on the ship waiting.
I like it.
So that's one real cool thing. If you're not sure about Europe with your kids, a cruise is fantastic. Do you get as in-depth and as into the culture? No. But that's why you do the local guides, and they bring you into the culture. And then you get back on the ship. You're basically back in America every night, which is good for some people. We could have been fine either way. But it's so nice and comforting. Like my niece, like definitely a good thing.
Yeah.
Get back on the ship. She loved the ship. She was kind of like, we'll just stay on the ship today. No,
nope.
Not.
You got more. We got 4 more ports to talk about. So let's talk about Heracloin.
Michelle, what?
I think it's Herculean.
Herculean?
Yeah.
I always said Herculon, and that was totally wrong too.
Okay.
Don't worry, Derek.
At the end. I know
I said it wrong all the time. So this is on the island of Crete. Crete is the really big island way down near Africa. This is where we did not find a private tour because I couldn't find a private tour that would do more than 6 people, and we had 7. So to the DCL tour we went, which cost more than our previous day's private tour. Let that sink in for a minute, where we got food, marble workshop, made an apple, and personalized.
Also, I want to see a picture of this apple on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Yep.
So we got on a bus with 40 of our closest friends, got handed the little earpieces, went to the same place 1,000 other buses went, and then stood in the sun while we heard about stuff that was ancient to the ancient Greeks. So this was the Minoan culture. We went to the Palace of Kenosis. Palace of Kenosis, which is huge. It's a labyrinth. That's where the word and thing labyrinth comes from. It's where all kinds of myths come from. Hercules and
so Deborah,
things. My sister was way into it.
She's a pastor.
She's got a history degree. God bless her. She loves this stuff. The other 6 members of the party, about a half hour into it, were checked out.
Get that. Could you try again?
Siri doesn't get that. Sorry.
It was more like 15 minutes.
15 minutes for 5 of the other people in our group. 30 minutes for one of them. That would be me. And then my sister was all in the whole time. It was 97 degrees, no shade, 1,000 other buses. I think everybody on the Magic got on a bus and went to this place. It was brutal, Derek.
Yeah, sounds fun.
And this was following possibly the best excursion we've ever done ever. So the morale and of course I booked all the excursions, picked all the excursions.
So we yelled at him.
The whole day. The whole day.
I yell at Doug all the time. It's great.
And then we went from the palace to the museum about the palace. I have learned with children, there is a thing called museum fatigue.
This was our first museum.
And they were fatigued with the museum before we stepped foot in the museum. It was so much
outside,
stuff.
Though. I think the other stuff is more like a museum too.
Yeah.
You're just outside, so it doesn't seem as bad.
It just the minutia of how much stuff was in this museum was overwhelming. Like they didn't narrow it down, and then here's a couple things, move along, and if you want more, go to this room. Right? It was. Look through everything before you feel like you can move to the next room. And the tour guide talked about everything. Everything, Derek. And we had the little whisperer on, the little earpiece.
Yep.
I think Alden took his earpiece out about 5 minutes in.
Put AirPods in and just jam out to something else.
Right. And I hate to say it because you're in such a historic place, and the stories that are told, and then here we are
Well, the other problem is that on these big tours, Disney doesn't feed you.
No, it's a
and there's no
mystery.
spot for lunch.
Oh, there's 45 minutes of free time.
Yeah, so we just left the tour.
Yeah, we abandoned ship in the museum and ate some food. And then we had our free time where we got some gelato. Once they confirmed they would not kill Samantha and I, which was a struggle at most gelato. Italy, they don't understand allergies. But yeah, and then we waited for the bus and went back to the ship, and then we did ship things. Was that the day I went on the Aqua Dunk, I think, a couple times, and
Love that. Always fun.
yeah,
It
was
all
good.
blurs together.
The ship days all blur together. Fantastic every time, but yeah,
We're here for Europe, Doug.
Crete
For
was
Greece.
kind of a miss. I wish I would have found. A lot of people went to the beach. That's the thing. We're going and doing the Olympic site, the Palace of Kenosis. A lot of people just like went to the beach.
Nude beach?
It would have
Are
been-
we in Europe?
Yeah.
Yep. There
Not
you go.
nude, but topless. Topless. It's always topless. We'll discuss that later.
Okay.
All right. We can move on.
All right. Next port of call was Piraeus?
It's close. Some people
Yay!
pronounce it
Piraeus. I got nothing.
It's Athens.
There you go.
Yeah.
Piraeus.
Piraeus.
Pariah, yeah.
Piraeus.
Sure, Piraeus.
So Piraeus is the port for Athens. Here we did another private tour through OlympicTraveler.com. They picked us up at the port, and off we went. We picked the 7:30 start time. Guess what time they changed? So we cleared the ship at 7:30. We were like the first people off. And we were off and going in our little minibus, and the tour guide talked the whole way there. We got to the Acropolis, which is the hill in Athens. Before it opened, Derek, we rope dropped the Acropolis.
Nice. Bucket list item right there.
Yeah. And let me just say, rope dropping the Acropolis is important for multiple reasons. One, you beat the heat. And two, you beat the crowds. The walking up the hill, not that bad.
No, and I was kind of, I'm not in the best shape right now. Been way better shape before. I was a little bit like worried about this. Like, am I going to be able to make it up? But that was actually no problem.
No, it's just a little walk. Winds. You stop a few times. You look at an amphitheater. You stop and you look at like a temple of Nike. You stop and there's always some temple to look at along the way. But in the middle of the day, when the tour groups really roll in, it's just jam-packed full of people. And so you're inching along in the 100-degree heat in the sun. Olive trees don't provide much shade because they don't get very tall.
But our tour guide, our private tour guide, her name was Marina. I don't know. She was pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And she did a good job of moving us to the shade or moving us to the side or.
The one in the Olympic site did too. With the shade. Yes.
Yes. They also do a really good job. Most of them are talking to, younger ones. So they tried to get Lila involved. They tried to ask her questions. She didn't usually like to answer or talk, but, they tried, which also helps the older ones too, because then they kind of brings it down a little bit and they don't have to, their head doesn't have to struggle to think. But the big group tours we did, they don't care.
They just talk.
They don't care.
I mean, they're not making eye contact.
Yeah.
It's, so the little private tours also way cheaper what we booked than what you booked through DCL to do the same thing. So we went up to the, I always say the wrong thing, Michelle. Parthenon. My gosh, I went to both on this trip and I confused them every time. One's in Rome, one's in Athens, one's in Nashville. No, sorry, that's a recreation in Nashville. But so we went up top and she talked a lot about how it was damaged in like the 1600s because of a gunpowder explosion. Otherwise, it was doing pretty good. There's one spot when you enter it where you go under the oldest roof on Earth. So that's kind of cool. The pictures don't do that justice. It's just like, what are those dark things with the sun above it? So you go under that roof to get onto the area. I mean, it's very, very cool. You feel like you're somewhere sacred. Kind of the same thing with the Olympic site. You're like, that's the Temple of Zeus. Here it's, It's big. It's massive. You can see the whole city. Yeah, a huge amphitheater, which they still use. Kind of just...
Nike Temple was up there too.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just amazing. I would have liked more time at the top. We kind of rushed down, but we had more to do.
And
so.
I think when we got to the bottom, we could kind of see why we abandoned the top, because when we got to the bottom, it was like bus pulling up and people with their little DCL sticker hopping off. Because most of the DCL tours didn't even meet at their meeting site till 8. And that's when the hill opened. We got there in a half hour, which was, I think we broke some speed limits. I don't know.
There you go.
Also on the drive, you got to see a lot of the buildings they used in the Olympics in 04.
Oh, fascinating.
That was cool. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, after we got down, we went to the museum, and that was actually a really good museum. It reminded me of like 9/11 museum, just really well done.
The way it's laid out.
Yeah, the way it's laid out.
Flows.
It's very modern.
It doesn't kill you with minutia like the one the day before.
When they got to digging for it, they actually found ruins underneath that spot.
So that delayed it.
So there's actually a clear walkway where you can walk and like look down into, what would have been like buildings and houses.
Just houses.
Stores. So
Yeah, common people.
Yeah.
Living at the base.
Very cool. It's also a little bit sad because people
Very.
stole things from them, and so there's missing things.
Oh.
So, and
People
we've
suck.
seen,
Yes.
the British mainly. Sorry.
You offended at least one listener, and they just
multiple
turned it
listeners.
off. Yeah.
They should agree. They should agree. So they built it. You can see the Acropolis from the museum. It's beautiful, fascinating, and it's set up to like a mirror image, or like, the same angle. And so there was artwork around the whole top and the facade. And so that's what was stolen, all those facade pieces. They still have some, but most of them are stolen. So they have plaster casts of the ones that were stolen. Very easy to see what was taken and what isn't. About 90% of the stuff that was stolen is in the British Museum. They asked for it back. They said no. We learned that the British Museum charged them $200,000 to make the plaster cast like moldings.
Oh.
Like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, British Museum.
Okay.
Let's throw them a bone. And this is in the middle of their financial crisis when they're asking for that money. And then there's a little bit at the Louvre. And you could tell our tour guide was like actually really sad about how much is not there. Like, it hurt her. And Alden just like, yep, the British Museum, we saw that. They stole it. So there you go. And then we went to the Pleca, which is kind of the
City center.
city center shopping district.
Restaurants.
A lot of gift shops, a lot of restaurants. We ate where she recommended. I had some weird, it was called a Greek burrito in English. That's the translation. It was not a burrito at all. No, it was, there's no way to describe it. Greek burrito, poor translation, but it was good. I don't know what all was in it, but I ate it.
But it was not mango. Got it.
Did not kill me. Michelle, what did you try?
I had this Slovaki, which is what they had on Amazing Race.
Yes.
So
They had to spell it, right?
yeah.
Yeah, that looked good.
Yeah, that was
Deborah
good.
had something else.
The kids had pizza.
So we had some
Alden
authentic.
had a burger.
Yeah, Alden had a burger.
Wow, a burger.
Like,
You go all
and
the
then
way
he would
across the world.
complain.
I want an American burger. I'm a teenage boy.
And then he'd complain about it. Like, it's not the place to get a burger.
Well,
Of
he
course
asked-
not.
He asked, can I not have it with this and this? And they're like, you just want a cheeseburger? We can make you a cheeseburger.
Yeah.
She's like annoyed, but also she knew,
Yeah.
American teenagers.
American
Teenage boys. Got it.
Yeah. So then we did some souvenir shopping, and then we did a tour around the city a little bit.
Yeah, a
So,
driving tour a little bit.
Yeah.
We saw the changing of the guard, which was a thing.
long.
And we got
and
sunburned,
hot,
I think.
Sunburned, yeah.
Did the changing of the guard. And then we went to a different stadium that was really old from Greek
It's
times.
where like the marathon starts. The Greece
yeah,
marathon.
with a marathon, I believe. Yeah.
It was Olympic. It had something to do with the Olympics, though.
The original, not the original Olympics, but the original modern Olympics restarted there. So, and when they hosted in 04, they did archery in that stadium. So, and then we went back to the ship and I went on the aquadunk.
There you go. Wow,
That's
that
how-
is a lot for one stop.
She did say, so our tour guide did
Oh, it
say
was a busy day.
about that stadium. She said they light the torch in Olympia every time, and then it goes to that stadium.
And that's where like the ceremony is, where it heads out. So we did see where they light the Olympic torch in Olympia. It's in front of the Temple of Hera, I believe. And they don't light it with like a flame or a lighter or flint and steel. They use the sun.
Might as well. Why not? That's how you got to do it.
And they're like, in case of clouds. I'm like, what cloud? We haven't seen a cloud in Greece. But they use mirrors to light it. And then they go from Olympia to Athens and then have the big ceremony.
There you go. My mom carried the Olympic torch. Side note. Crazy thing.
In Japan?
China.
China.
Yes. Whole different story. That was a different podcast. But anyway, there you go. You guys did a lot. And you still have two more ports.
3.
Yes.
So the exhaustion level of we get back to the room.
3 more ports, Derek.
Shower.
Oh, yeah.
Go
3
see
more.
a character. Usually we meet a character. Lines
How
for
was Doug even
characters
surviving without a nap, Michelle? Have you yelled at him yet during the trip?
I took naps on the buses. For some reason, we started the bus and I was out.
Yeah.
No one else did.
I never felt like I could because I was the one that booked the trip.
Yeah, you got to be on your A game.
Yeah.
You're also the famous Rope Drop radio host, so you're always on. Got it.
No, the fame didn't carry over to Greece. I
Really?
don't know.
Oh,
Yeah, it was weird.
All right. Let's go on to Santorini.
There you go.
I would hope so.
If you didn't get Santorini right, I'd worry.
So this is a tender port.
Ugh.
So if you've never done a tender port on a cruise,
Don't.
you have to get on a little boat.
I've never done Tinder, for the record.
Oh.
That was a terrible joke. There you go. You got it.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah. So you have to get on a boat, but you can't get on a boat until it's your time to board. So all the Disney excursions got to go first.
Yeah, they get preference,
And
right? We've learned this.
Special treatment. So you were allowed to go to guest services and like reserve your own spot. And they didn't ever tell anybody else that.
No,
so.
it was just the special people, and I'm not special people. But here's the thing. Here's the rub on Santorini. I booked a morning excursion through DCL. Didn't even look for private because I knew it was tender. So I wanted to not have to deal with the headache of when our tender is going to be available to get to my private tour, because it's a mystery and a mad grab, and it's tendering when you don't have a tour is awful. It's miserable. Just don't get off till the afternoon. Okay?
Okay.
Which we have done before with tenders. We're spending the morning on the ship and we're going to go explore in the afternoon. So I booked a morning excursion so we didn't have to deal with it. We just wear our little sticker, mindlessly follow, and it's all good. First day, we get a little note at our room. Now, our room changed like 7 times, but this note frickin' found us. Your excursion has been changed to 11:45 in the like what? So now it's not really after lunch, just before lunch. We're not getting fed lunch on the tour, and we don't have our tender advantage. I was angry.
Yeah.
Was I angry?
He was angry. I was angry because I didn't exactly love the thing that he picked for this one.
No, but
I'm just
we had to
impressed
mix
you
it
let
up.
him do all the picking, Michelle.
I didn't have time. Travel's back. I'm busy.
Yeah, she's busy
Doug
booking
plans our
other
own family
people's
trips.
trips, not mine.
I'm letting Doug plan most of the Rope Drop radio trip. It's great.
Which is stressful.
I
Thank you.
know.
Yeah, and then he picked the time that has the
Yeah, and then
Yeah, it
Michelle's like,
happens.
you planned something in the middle of a Halloween party. Like, oh, thanks. Okay. Anyway, back to this trip.
So we took a tender boat.
In the morning, because we wanted to see the city, the blue dome
So we
roof
rope dropped the
churches.
boats that we were allowed to get on. We went
Angrily,
over,
I cussed a lot.
and we took a cable car up. Cable car, if you are not going first thing in the morning, there's going to be a huge wait.
Oh my gosh, the line when we
It's
got
hot.
back down is like 1 million people long.
It's like a Skyliner, but like
Inefficient,
half size.
no maintenance. You
But it
wonder
was
how
so
you're
cool.
alive.
Glad we did it. Went all the way up there.
We
I
were
was
hot,
not-
tired, and cranky.
I didn't do my research, and I didn't know
No.
what town we were going into.
There's 2 towns.
Yeah, and we went into the other town, not the town with the blue roofs, blue domes that it's like on Instagram. And
So one of the excursions I floated out there that DCL did is an Instagram tour.
Oh, wow.
Everybody made fun
Okay.
of me when I mentioned this. It probably would have been the perfect tour to book.
All the IG pictures. Got it. Be famous.
Don't be afraid of the Instagram tour. I made fun of it.
It was called the selfie tour.
It was called the selfie tour. They need to name it better.
You could also take other pictures.
But yeah,
you could put those pictures on Facebook, I'm sure, Doug.
It saw all the right spots. We should have just booked it.
We did not have very much time because by the time we got up there, it was, we needed to head back almost to get on our
we had
excursion.
to take a tender and
it was not good.
Eat lunch.
So we're running around. It's hot. It's sweaty. I'm mad because I can't find any blue roofs because, they don't exist in that town, right?
The frames of doors and windows were all blue.
Yeah, well, it was still pretty from the top.
It was
We
still
took a few pictures. Samantha and I fought. I yelled.
We could have just appreciated what was pretty in front of us.
We could, but it was halfway through. We were tired of each other by then.
And Derek pointed out, this is port 4.
In a row.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's exhausting.
Going morning to night, on a ship.
So we found
you guys don't relax. That's what I'm getting. I mean, there you go.
Not when you pay the money to
fly
go
to Europe.
You want to do all the things.
Yeah.
So I booked a catamaran sail and snorkel, as it was called.
Ooh, that's a little relaxy.
Different, right? I thought this be a good time to hit the shift gears. I mean, it was a sail. They put up the sails, turned the engines off, but it was good. After we took a bus all the way across the island.
It was Lila's favorite part of the whole trip.
It was an adventure. Was it a snorkel? No, because Santorini is a caldera of a volcano. So that's why it's like little houses up on top of a cliff and a little horseshoe. And then there's other little islands. The cruise ships come into the middle of what is the volcano, and you tender from there. So we went to a hot spring because, volcano again. So see the theme, volcano? We were just sitting in a volcano for a day. But the water, because of the way the volcano exploded a long time ago, is 2,000 feet deep most places. So it's not a snorkel.
Yeah, don't go looking for the bottom.
No, there's no snorkel. It's like deep, little bit of rocks, cliff. Yeah, so we swam into this hot spring where there was some rocks you could stand on. And it wasn't really hot. It was just kind of lukewarm to make you wonder, did Alden it was that kind of temperature in the hot spring. But it was like a 300-meter swim to the hot spring. So that was fun, over 2,000 foot deep water. Not exactly what I had in mind.
Yeah, I'm not a good swimmer. There you go. I'm glad I wasn't there on that one.
Yeah. And then you were supposed to have a snack, but the guy made a whole meal.
Yeah, it was really good.
It was good. It was authentic. He was like, I can't not make you a whole meal. They said just a snack. Blah, blah, blah. He was true Greek, grew up in Santorini, lived on.
It was really choppy. So if you have any kind of motion sickness, you need to plan in advance for that.
Doug is a mess.
I was fine. My motion sickness patch takes care of sea type of motion very well.
That's why we're doing Guardians on the trip. Anyway,
good Lord,
keep going.
No.
That one's a no. Hard no. But yeah, it went good. Lila loved it. Alden liked getting pictures on a sailboat looking cool.
Yeah, of course.
I think that was the highlight for him. So, and then we got dropped off where we had to tender back to the ship again. That was my least favorite part.
Lila didn't like that either. Why can't the boat just drop us off at the ship? Well, it's not the right kind of
spoiled.
Right kind of size. So we went immediately back to the ship, though.
Yeah.
We looked for the tender boat.
Yeah.
So
got out of there, and the line for that cable car was stupid. The other option than a cable car was a zigzag path with donkeys.
Yeah.
Okay.
Donkeys.
It was 698 steps or something like that. I don't remember what it was.
It was a long way.
And the steps were 7 steps on the step.
Yeah, it wasn't like a step. It was walk a little ways.
Straight up and turn. Straight up and turn. So
while
don't
avoiding
recommend
donkeys
that.
Or riding a donkey.
And if you get in line too late, our ship didn't leave till 8 that night. Right? 8.
Yeah, at sunset.
Yeah. So if you get in line too late and you can't make it back to your ship, I don't recommend running down that.
We ate dinner and we were still in port.
Yeah.
Oh. And then saw sunset as sailing out of the caldera. It was beautiful. One of the prettiest things.
We went by the E-town.
Yeah, the other town with all the blue roofs at sunset.
Yeah. And I had clients there the week after us, not on Disney, but on Norwegian.
They booked the selfie tour.
They didn't. I don't know what they booked, but they went there. They got the Blue Dome picture, and
she's so angry.
Yeah,
gotta go back now. Gotta book
Jocelyn. She's one of the patrons that we just announced today. Yeah, so Just FYI.
Michelle is so
They did
angry
it.
with me.
I was. All right.
So angry.
We just have to go back, I guess.
Yeah.
There you go. That's it. That was an excuse to go back sometime. Just you two. How about that instead of kids?
Not 9 nights, though, right?
Yeah.
So,
all right. Next
all
port,
right,
Derek.
Next one. Mykonos?
No.
Mykonos.
Mykonos. Got it. First try.
So another day, another Disney tour. This one we went to Delos, an ancient city so Mykonos is one island. We went to a different island from our island because one island wasn't good enough.
Because the things to do on there were like shopping and
beach.
They were like
you needed to be 25 and pretty.
Yeah.
In Mykonos.
It didn't fit our demographic.
We're not Mykonos people.
Oh, come on, guys. You're both pretty.
On the inside.
Doug.
So we got on a ferry, and the ferry
full of Disney people. Like 4 buses worth? I don't know.
7 buses worth? I don't know.
And it was rough. And the first time it went basically sideways, everybody inside goes, whoa! I wish I had recorded that. That was fantastic.
Doug was fine.
I fell asleep.
Disney actually put medicine out on the table and said, here, take these, please. Do not throw up on our ferry.
Yeah.
So Claire did. And it was supposed to make her drowsy, but I don't know that it ever did. She was fine.
We were all tired. Day 5.
Yeah, day 5 of going nonstop.
Except for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was like 45 minutes.
It's a long ferry ride.
Get over there, and then it's dirt and dust and sun. And ancient city was the financial capital of the Greek world. Just got abandoned at a certain point. They don't really know why.
It was the birthplace of Artemis and
Apollo. Yeah. And so we got to see the temple for Artemis, which is really cool. That was what Samantha did her speech on for speech team this year, was Artemis, the space program, not the god, but it was kind of cool. Huge city, big amphitheater, sat in it, random cats. That was the highlight for Lila.
Yeah, these like feral cats.
Feral cats everywhere.
Our guide kept
feeding them, so they kept coming to her. Yeah.
I have a couple around my house. There you go.
She had like people from our tour group hide her so she could feed them, because like the people that work there will kick her out if she feeds them. I don't know.
Yeah.
For a moment, I was wondering what would happen if our guide got kicked out.
She was the crazy cat lady.
She told some good stories though. She was engaging, even though we're using the earpiece. She was the best guide we had for a big group.
I took my earpiece out. Alden and I just...
She moved us along. She's like, let's go quick and beat the crowd. And we got ahead of them.
Fed the cats, so then the crowd beat us.
Yeah, the crowd caught back up when we fed the cats.
It was a long morning.
It was long. And then, when you should be eating lunch, they're not feeding you. I don't understand why Disney tours, any tour,
charge us another $30. I don't
feed
care.
us.
Just feed us.
Put us somewhere and give us food, but there was no food on Delos.
No, there wasn't bathrooms.
Yeah,
you were supposed to go on the ferry.
Oh, that's right. There wasn't even bathrooms.
Yeah. The only people that stay on that island are actually taking care of the island, and they're only there certain nights.
Yeah.
So.
It's ancient. It's old.
Yeah, but it's very pretty from the water. Yeah.
So we saw it. It was great. We loved it. Got back on the ferry. And then instead of just taking you back to the little port where you got on the ferry by the ship, they take you to the other port that's by the touristy area and say, shop, eat. So we did a little shopping, and Michelle bought a hat. So there's windmills on all these islands for a reason. Ancient windmills. Because it's windy.
Well, I tried to buy a hat in Rome, and the kids were like, you can't. You're not a hat person.
I don't know why you care what the kids say.
Because they're like,
mean.
Let's go, move
They're
on.
evil. The kids are mean.
Kids are the worst. They make fun of me all the time.
So you finally got your hat on day 5 of 5 in a row at ports. And then she wants a picture by the water with wind blowing about 30 miles an hour.
It went well. It's some good pictures.
I saw a picture. I saw the hat go.
Yeah.
It's like 30 feet in the air.
Yeah. We got it. It was fine.
Just got back to
it's
it.
All fine.
Yeah. And then we have to walk to a bus to get back to the Disney ship. To walk from there to the bus, you walk past the beach, where about half the people on the beach were topless. So that's the Disney magic. Disney families
Yep, there you
Walk
go.
to the bus, back to the Disney ship. Yeah, I'm sure I guarantee you someone went to guest relations that night to complain about.
It wasn't that bad. We've seen
No, it
worse.
wasn't. It was, but I guarantee you somebody lost their mind.
But that was an early day then, because we had lunch on the ship. Well, you all had lunch
we
on
went
the
to
ship.
lunch. It was like early. Yeah, Cabanas closed like
at 2.
and so we had lunch at like 2:02, and Michelle didn't get Cabanas. Like, Cabanas, come on, stay open a little longer. Read the room. People are getting back on from your excursions. You need to stay open. So that was Mykonos, and then we had a day at sea.
Yeah, day to relax after
Or that was
5
actually
straight
Pirate
days.
Night.
Oh,
Yeah,
Pirate Night that night.
Yeah,
No
with no
fireworks.
fireworks.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, they said Greece and Italy don't allow fireworks.
Yeah.
Can't get
I
mad.
don't know if I
I mean,
believe
you guys,
them.
I'm surprised you even stayed awake after 5 straight days of nonstop going in the wind and heat.
We did it. Pirate Night was a success. Different little dance show than I've ever seen. It was good. It was like
There was a pirate buffet.
pirate buffet. I had a crepe.
There was a magician. No, there's a ventriloquist.
Ventriloquist that night. The magician was earlier. He was funny. The magician was really funny. We went to his adult show as well. There's some good entertainment. Pirate Night. Lila really liked Pirate Night. The dance party part of it. No fireworks. The next day was 4th of July and our sea day. We won some trivia. We won Disney Cruise Line trivia, which of all the trivias to win, I think that's the most important
That's
one.
good. Congratulations.
We knew our Disney Cruise Line stuff.
It was just Doug and I. It was adult.
Yeah.
They didn't ever have a kid.
No, the kids were so mad. I think the kids wanted to go against other kids in Disney Cruise Line trivia and just destroy them. So, Derek, ask us, what special things did they do for the 4th of July?
Well, Doug, since I talked to Lauren last week about the 4th of July at Walt Disney World, I'm wondering what they did for the 4th of July on the Disney Cruise Line.
Absolutely nothing. There was a menu at dinner that they kind of brought out like, oh yeah, we also have this tonight.
Alden said there was a little thing on the deck.
There was a little thing on the deck during the day that I was unaware even happened.
Here's a flag. Here's a red, white, and blue thing. All right, move along.
Characters weren't in the patriotic outfits. There was no fireworks. No nighttime deck party.
You're in Europe. Did you really expect anything?
Yeah, it's like America. It's all Americans,
We had fireworks.
basically.
We had fireworks in Italy last time.
Yeah, we had
Okay.
fireworks last time. We would have technically been in France
or
when we
Spain.
did the
Well,
fireworks.
even on Canada Day, you got a little something.
Yeah, they did more for Canada Day. Canada Day? Canada Day?
Close
How do you
enough.
say it?
Canada Day.
Canada Day. Yeah. They had something in the sports bar for that. We didn't even have that for 4th of July. And so it's been funny. When we booked it, I said, I guarantee you we don't do anything that day because it's a day at sea. And one thing with cruise lines, they are so set in their ways. We're talking about a cruise line where Back to the Mouse Joe went on a Halloween on high seas where he was actually on the ship on Halloween, and they did Halloween on the 30th instead of the 31st because of how it fit the schedule.
Yeah.
So just knowing that, I was like, they're not going to do anything. But so nothing hardly. That was probably the biggest disappointment.
Hope you complain to
with
guest
the cruise.
services.
I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I had other stuff to complain about. We haven't talked about, like, internet. That's probably something we need to talk about.
We have one more
at the
port
end.
day.
Yeah,
Let's
big
get to the
day.
port.
Finish
Let's
that.
get to the
Naples.
port.
Let's talk
then we'll
about
talk
it.
about cruise line stuff. Naples.
Hey, I got
pulled
that one right.
in.
That one I knew.
Yeah, good job, Derek.
I've been to Olive Garden before.
Oh, it's not the same.
Oh,
I
I'm
can tell you that.
assuming.
And it's way more expensive than Italy. Food in Italy was not expensive, at least where we ate. I'm sure it is, but we did not eat it.
No unlimited breadsticks? Haha.
No, but we ate a lot of pizza in the days leading up to the trip or leading up to the cruise. So in Naples, had a private guide with Miles and Miles, also recommended by Rick Steves. Used them back in 2019. Driver met us at the port, drove us up to Mount Vesuvius, where we did not get tickets to go in. Kind of the one hiccup. It was weird. They're like, the mafia buys them all. You have to get on 15 days in advance. And it sounded like something like, had we known, Michelle probably could have scored us tickets because she's that good. But knowing all these tour buses show up and have tickets, yeah, it's tickets they added because of COVID, and they've just kind of kept them around.
Kind of like, who does that sound like? Disney.
Yeah. Well, like Disney, just gotta keep those park passes around. So, Naples, though, to be honest, there's 3 of us that were sad we did not hike up Vesuvius.
But then we got out of the car in Naples, and it was like
we were good.
The temperature of the sun. So
yeah, the sun somehow is closer. I don't know, but
That's the only text messages I ever got from you. The whole trip, it's hot. It's really hot. And I'm like, yeah, it's hot here. Okay.
It's hot. So when talking about the weather with all our guides, they were so confused how Nebraska could be both hot and cold. They're like, how's it get
windy and all the other things.
It gets all the things. They weren't getting it. So then we went to Pompeii, where we met our walking tour guide who worked at the university as an anthropologist. I mean, super smart dude.
Yeah.
And really, really good tour of Pompeii.
Fabio
was fabulous. We learned a lot.
I could have spent another 5 hours there.
Easily. You could spend a whole day in Pompeii.
We didn't even go to most of it.
No, we're on a cruise ship. That's the problem.
Yeah, that's the downside. But the thing is, if you go on a cruise ship, you see what you want to do again, and then you go back and spend more time there.
So 10 years down the road, when we're traveling without the kids, we might go to Naples and spend
maybe with Derek. Day. Who knows?
We're already getting rid of our kids, Derek. We're not adding people to this party.
Okay, I tried. I am a big kid. You were right.
We know what we'd want to do. Hike up Vesuvius? Probably not. Stay in Naples city center? Probably not. Craziest streets I've ever seen in my life is Naples. Holy... I don't understand how 1,000 people don't die a day. Yeah, we literally, traffic was backed up, so we went on the left side of the median for a while and then darted back in. It was like, what are we doing? Pizza, it's the birthplace of pizza. We saw the place where the margarita pizza was invented, named after the Queen. We did not go there. We drove through the maze of cars and traffic and people and roads and wires, and we went to a hole-in-the-wall pizza place.
What looks like a hole in the wall?
It was like an indent in the wall. It had a door. It was the cheapest meal we ate, and we were the only people there speaking English. It was as authentic as you can get, and we had pizza.
And was it better than Pizza Rizzo's? Because we haven't said Pizza Rizzo's. It's the first show ever.
Yeah,
I had to bring it up.
A conversation.
Okay, good.
Yeah, it was really good.
And that's what these local guides do. I know Adventures by Disney, we do local guides. Other people do local guides too, Disney.
Yeah, you don't need Adventures by Disney. We made our own Adventures by Disney, basically. So, our meal was fantastic. And then he told us about how, I don't remember which war, but they started deep frying pizza. And so it's like a frita, and it's a Naples only or Napoli only type of thing. And so I got one of those, shared it with my sister. Alden had a piece. So just imagine a deep fried pizza, and the topping in the pizza was ham. It was so good. And
then you rode around the crazy cities for another.
That was good. I had a motion sickness patch on for that day. I'll tell you that. And then we went to sites, hopped out of the car, looked at things. I will tell you this about Naples: the amount of garbage on the ground is astounding. It's a lot of trash. But really good views. Saw different things. Hopped out of the car, did this, hopped out of the car, did that. Got some gelato. We have had a lot of gelato on this trip at that point. This was the best, I think. This is the best I had anyway. I had watermelon. It was fantastic. And then back to the ship.
One more thing about private guides and things, if you can find them. If you see a city tour on there, in like, like the end of it's literally just driving around, jumping out, seeing a couple things and getting back in the car. So it's not like boring. Like,
no, in which on a bus, it's driving around looking out the window while your guide talks.
That's boring.
But with these private tours, and if you don't want to get out, you just like, yeah, we're good and they'll keep going. You can tell them no. You could say, hey, what about this place? And if they can get you there, private guides over the bigger groups, 100% recommend. I wish I would have worked a little harder for Santorini since our thing got messed up anyway. But there you go. Ports are done.
There you go.
Let's wrap up a few things about the cruise.
First, I'm jealous that you went to Naples, by the way. That is on my not checklist. I won't even, but yeah, it's there.
I would do it with a guide.
Okay.
Yeah, that city scared me. That's the only city that scared me.
Where are you from? You are here. This is you.
Yeah, the whole time, people asking me where my ancestors are from.
Mm-hmm.
The whole time. I mean, like, the dude that did my passport to leave the country had the exact same hair as me. So,
yeah. You never know.
Yeah, I need to shed a few pounds and wear my clothes tighter, and then I fit in better.
Sounds good. All right. You guys got back on the ship and finished up the cruise.
Yeah, so all the entertainment was good. We saw Tangled, the musical, fascinating as usual. But let's talk about the internet. It's new, it's improved, and we bought it.
On the Magic.
On the Magic and the Wish.
Mm-hmm. It's not on the other ships yet.
So you don't have to pay per megabyte anymore. You just get unlimited, which was fantastic and allowed me to post a lot more for everybody.
Yeah, and me too. Yeah.
And how much was that, by the way?
It was pricey.
Okay.
I'm trying to block it out, Derek.
It's just pricey when you have a family of 5 and you can't get the basic package.
We paid for 5 devices, but we had to do it through 2 different staterooms and
because the basic package didn't include Snapchat.
Yeah, the basic package didn't do much. The second package up said it did not do TikTok. However, it did.
No, it didn't.
It did not. I thought Claire got on TikTok. No, Claire just settled.
She was on Spotify the whole time.
Kids in their social media apps. Am I right? Parents listening to this show, it's ridiculous.
But after those busy days, like, it was nice that they were able to connect with friends back home a little bit,
make them
send
jealous,
some pictures to grandma.
Rope Drop Radio, got it.
Right.
So for us, there's 3 different packages, right? Stay Connected is the lowest. It's $12 a day per person.
It's not bad.
Basic service.
Not per person, because per device it got cheaper the more devices you added.
Yeah, but you didn't want to. I didn't want to add my computer.
Well, no, it was too expensive for that.
Then the basic surf was $24 per person per day, and the premium was $36 per person per day.
Ew.
But each time you added like another family member, it did get a little bit cheaper.
It wasn't that full price. It was a couple dollars cheaper.
But yeah, we spent
a lot with all your kids.
a lot on internet.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't do it any other way.
100% worth it.
Michelle, absolutely.
We could communicate through the ship. It was.
And how else is Doug going to text me when he's on the ship?
Right. Yeah.
And we were able to communicate really easily back home. Emails, also like communicating with some of our private guides, send emails the night before or the day of. So it was good to be able to check that. The only hiccup was Alden didn't update his app. He swears he did, but there's no way he did. Right. And he couldn't update the app. The Basic Surf wouldn't load the app store. And they told us, well, you're just going to have to do it on land. Find a cafe. And I was like, for real? So that bugged me a lot. They should be able to force download it if you're already paying for internet. My sister got the most expensive internet because her husband was back home, so they FaceTimed him every night with the internet. You could FaceTime.
And not like it's not crazy at sea because I've done it on Royal Caribbean, I've done it on Celebrity, I've done it on Norwegian. But Disney has never had that until
never
now.
been done.
Yeah, new.
That's a big deal for like business people. Although the business people also griped and complained because it was so expensive. I was like, come on, it was better than nothing.
Right. Go on. You should have gone on the Odyssey of the Seas with Royal if you're really, and the internet was that important to you.
Oh, and you could do it per day. You didn't have to do it the whole time.
No, yeah,
so you could just buy it for like one day.
And for one device or 2 devices.
Yeah.
But it worked really well for us. It wasn't fast. It was fast-ish.
Better than
How about
nothing.
that?
You could text me
better.
all the pizza jealousy that I needed.
But Alden communicated with his Vibe friends the whole time.
Yeah,
That was probably that might have been the best part.
really helped is he was on Snapchat with his Vibe friends
New BFFs.
constantly. Yeah, and so we got off the ship and we stayed one night in Rome. We took a private transfer. No, we took Disney transfers after the ship, which actually we stayed at a hotel attached to the airport.
The Hilton.
The Hilton. And so you get to the airport and then you go through like these tunnels. These little, I called them like hamster tunnels. They're up in the air.
Moving sidewalks.
There were some moving sidewalks. There were some broken moving sidewalks because it's Italy. So we went to the airport and then we went to the hotel. From the hotel, we got the train from the airport into the city center, saw some more churches, and then came back to the hotel for our last night. But a lot of Alden's friends were at that hotel as well.
There was like 2.
That's a lot.
There's a lot of friends. You
That's
never
more
know.
friends than I have. I have
with
one.
them.
Yeah,
Worked
I'm
out
here.
with them.
Yeah, not Derek. Alden went and worked out with one of them that night. Like, yeah, you're supposed to be 18 to get in the fitness center. Did not know that. Alden's like, yep, I'm 18.
I assumed it was 18, but
I was just putting my head in the sand and didn't care at that point.
Yeah.
So, and then we flew home the next day and we made it.
And we're still jet lagged.
I don't understand. I'm still tired. Maybe I'm just tired from
And then
the
you had to go
5
back
port
to
days in a
work.
row.
And here's the next thing. When is your next cruise? Because it's coming pretty quick.
Next week?
Yeah.
A week
7
from
days?
basically a week
9
from when
days.
this comes out.
So yeah, you got another report that we got a couple cruise reports, yours and then mine on the Disney Wish. So.
Yeah. We get the Wish a couple times in 2 months here. This is going to be exciting for Rope Drop listeners. The Wish is different, Derek. It's going to be interesting getting our takes on it.
I am intrigued. I'm also
I'm not excited to get lost.
Yeah, learn stuff. So there you go. Well, it sounds like you guys had an awesome time. 9 nights, didn't kill each other. All the kids came back alive, and your sister. I was worried. I know Deb listens to the show, so there you go. She survived as well.
Yes, she did. My mom was like, told me I couldn't lose her. And there was a couple times I was a little worried, like getting on and off of the tender, like the little boats. She's short. She makes me feel very tall. Mm-hmm. And there was sometimes we had to jump off the one ship. I didn't.
You don't jump well.
Oh, I don't jump well. What about my sister?
None of you guys. Except Alden. Alden jumps over all of you.
Alden, yeah, he'll be fine.
So, all right. Well, it sounds like you had an amazing time and definitely something you would probably recommend for other people to do.
Absolutely. Whatever fits your window of travel, don't be afraid of Europe. If you can do it, do it. The cruise is a great gateway to Europe if you're a little nervous about local customs, currencies, all that sort of stuff. And if you have questions about local guides, hit us up. I will gladly answer your questions.
And Michelle, how do people go about booking a trip like this?
Well, you can book with any Touring Plans travel agent. But of course, I would love to help some of the rope droppers. My email is michelle@touringplans.com. I book Disney, I book Royal Caribbean, I book Celebrity, Virgin, also a sail in Greece next year. They were supposed to sail this year, but that got stopped.
Well, that would not be for families.
That would not be.
No, Virgin.
But there are some adults.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. So I book way more than Disney. So, I've been there, personal experience. So let me know if I can answer your questions and help you book a trip.
Awesome. Well, and we got to get on to the Patreon show with you guys and talk a little bit more about it. And Doug definitely posted some stuff on Patreon while he was on the ship with that amazing internet that you had.
I did. I was able to post audio
that's the
files.
Win. Yeah.
Like, I did it 2 times from the ship.
Itself, Doug.
Yeah.
Write that off on the taxes.
Absolutely. I had to have it to post.
There you go.
To Patreon.
Well, we are going to talk about that here in a minute. So thank you guys. I'm glad you're safe. You didn't kill each other. And of course, if you want to book a trip, be sure to book with Michelle or anyone at touringplans.com/travel. Make sure you say Rope Drop Radio sent you. But that is it. So for Michelle and Doug, I'm Derek. You've been listening to Rope Drop Radio.